この大空に翼を広げてフライトダイアリー
What's up, everybody? We are finally here with the long-awaited fan disc of If My Heart Had Wings, and it's called Flight Diary. I believe it was supposed to sort of be released originally around like early January or late January / early February, then got delayed until I believe 28th of February, a couple days ago, and I'm a little bit late with like recording it, but you know, I had some shit to do and all that shit, but I got time now, and I am really looking forward to this one, because obviously in preparation for this, we have played the main story of If My Heart Had Wings, although there we've only played the two main routes. We played the Kotori route first, and then the Amane route after that. And those were sort of the two character routes that sort of focused on the main story of the whole Soaring Club aspect of it, right? Whereas the other routes were obviously also sort of played a role and focused on the Soaring Club a little bit, but not as much. They're sort of, I don't want to necessarily say side routes or anything like that, but sort of like the Amane and Kotori really heavily focused on the Soaring Club and the both the future of it, the and in Amane's route, kind of the mystery behind it a little bit, right, regarding Isuka and all that stuff. And yeah, so those were, in my opinion, like I didn't have a whole lot of time, so in my opinion those were sort of the two most important routes to play in order to also then play this one. And this, the Flight Diary fan disc, has 6 side stories. Inherited Wings, oh, it actually highlights the characters, I believe, that are in it. Inherited Wings, which is the Soaring Club Epilogue. Then we have Wings of Dreams, which is the Soaring Club Prologue, which seems to focus only on Amane, Isuka, and fuck, I forgot the other dude, but he was a cool-ass dude. I forgot his name. And then we got another sort of side route, Inexpressible Emotion, Hotaru! Definitely want to play that one. Unfamiliar Answer, Kanako, so those are sort of routes with more of the side characters as well, right? Hotaru and Kanako were two characters that didn't really show up that often. Hotaru less so than Kanako. But Kanako was awesome in the sense that she helped us actually, she was kind of the experienced person out of everybody there, right? And helped us to get together with Amane and I believe Kotori as well. So yeah, she was definitely cool. So looking forward to that one. And then we have the Kazato Sisters, A Day in the Life. I'm a little hesitant to play this one just because I haven't played the sort of main route of these two girls, right? In the main game, I haven't played that one. So a little hesitant to play that one, but maybe at some point we will. And then, last but not least, The Day I Found My Wings, which I believe is the main story of If My Heart Had Wings, but then experienced from the perspective of Kotori herself. So that could be very interesting, but I believe like it'll be mostly sort of experiencing things that we've already gone through before, right, by playing both the Kotori and Amane route. So this might be something that we'll save until the very end or so. Like, I don't know exactly how many of these side stories I'm gonna play. I'm gonna try and play as many as I can. I'm definitely gonna play the Epilogue, the Prologue, Hotaru and Kanako. Both of those I really want to play as well. So I feel like those 4 side stories will play for sure. The other 2 will be a little bit dependent on other factors that I can't really determine right now. So we'll see in the future. But for now, those 4 main stories are the things that we're gonna be focusing on. And I think we're just gonna start from the Inherited Wings Soaring Club Epilogue, and in order to start that, I'm just gonna read the quick sort of summary that's on the Steam page for this, which is the Inherited Wings Soaring Club Epilogue. The vivid colors of summer have long become familiar and normal. One boy searches for the continuation to yesterday's answer. Aoi has made the decision to quit the club once the summer ends. Oh shit, he's gonna quit. But the Soaring Club is now faced by a certain problem. It's the sort of problem for which answers will not come easily. Kotori is plagued with anxiety. In this place, to which she had once escaped, she had found hope. The hope to dream. But it's that very dream itself that she now can't seem to find. This is the tale of Kotori and Aoi, 2 birds locked in a cage, finding the courage to spread their wings to their own next sky. Ooh, I feel like this could be very interesting, right? Because it's... Well, it does highlight, once we select this, it does highlight every single character here. But it does sound like it focuses more on Aoi and Kotori. And also on the aspect that they're together. So, seemingly a continuation of the Kotori route, I would say. Right? Where it just... Because obviously in the Amane route, you're dating Amane. In the Kotori route, you're dating Kotori. But it seems like this sort of takes... by default that you're dating Kotori in this one, so yeah, alright. Let's start with the first side story here then. Inherited Wings, the Soaring Club Epilogue. Fly away.
Asa-chan, 準備はいい?
Oh shit. Oh god, I gotta hold up. I gotta do a whole bunch of settings. Okay, I think this looks a little better at least to sort of see and be able to read the text. Unfortunately, I can't change like the color of the text. Cause my first impression was like, oh, this seems like a little hard to read, but hopefully it's a little more readable now. Hi. Alright.
Kotori, 頼んだわよ.
Let's go. What are we even doing? Well, it seems like we're on the field, right?
了解.
You got this, Kotori. We flying? The canopy closed overhead. Sounds from outside were cut off, and the world suddenly seemed far away.
キャノピーのロックを確認.
Kotori's gonna be flying here?
確認しました.
With Asa, ooh.
少し横風があるわ. エルロンとラダーを用意しておいて. はい.
Asa's voice shook a little. Of course she was worried. Is this like her first time?
いい傾向よ. どんなに慣れてもフライトの時はその緊張感を忘れちゃダメよ.
That's one thing that didn't happen, right? When we played the Kotori and Amane routes. Like it... I mean, I don't know, considering I didn't play the Asa route and stuff, but... The twins route, but... I imagine in that one they get to fly, right? Or at least maybe be in passenger. But regardless, one thing that didn't happen in the Kotori and Amane route is... They joined later, right? The twins joined later, and therefore they really helped with the entire project, of course, right? They were really awesome and really helpful. But unfortunately, they never really got to actually fly in the during any of it. So unfortunately, that was something that happened during the main story. But it seems like here in the fan disc, we're making up for it. And Kotori rather, is taking Asa on a flight. Flight prep was all done. I gave Ageha the signal where she stood, holding the wingtip. I could barely hear her. She confirmed the runway was clear for takeoff. Let's go! Roger, here we go! Oh, I'm in there too? Aoi's voice came through the radio. Oh, over. I was in the radio. And the next moment, thud! That doesn't... Oh. I thought that didn't sound good, but we're ready for takeoff. The tow cable jerked the glider forward, and we started to slide down the weedy covered runway. Ageha ran along the side, holding the wingtip. But the glider soon moved out of reach. It quickly picked up speed, and the nose started to lift up. Let's go, Asa! Gently, Asa pulled on the yoke, and the wings cut into the wind to carry the glider up into the air. We gained enough airspeed, so to reduce the effects of crosswind on takeoff, she applied the aileron slightly. She loosened the rudder as well, and the glider bounded into the sky. Here we go! It sounds like Asa is flying, right? Is piloting.
空に近づく.
I gotta up the fucking... God, I'm sorry, like the first... We gotta up the fucking voice sounds. Alright, there we go. First episode is always a little scuffed, right? But we'll fix it along the way. I'm starting to get deaf too, I think. I really don't know. My hearing has been really, really bad as of late. One thing that always impresses me about this visual novel is that I'm pretty sure, like, If My Heart Has Wings has been sort of considerably older, right? Fuck it, I'm gonna fucking Google this shit right now, right? Or look on the visual level database. I'm pretty sure If My Heart Has Wings is like 2012, if not older than that? If my heart wings, yep, 2012. And like, compared to like, I actually don't know, right? Like, obviously I don't know shit about every single visual novel, but what it feels like from all the visual novels that I sort of played over the years of doing this on YouTube is that most other 2012, 2013 visual novels probably don't have these types of effects and like cutscenes, and I don't know, I feel like If My Heart Had Wings, in terms of that, was sort of ahead of its time perhaps, or at least was more advanced compared to the other visual novels, because some of them are just, in general, it's just, the recipe of a visual novel is fairly basic, right, and you can still have an amazing story and everything around it sort of be rather sort of simple, basic, whatever the hell you want to call it, right? But I love when a lot of visual novels, obviously some maybe don't have the capacity to do so or the financial means, whatever, but when they sort of add these extra little cutscenes, those CG images and all that shit, right? And I feel like, I don't know, If My Heart Had Wings, when I look at it and see those cutscenes and shit, right, it doesn't feel like a 2012 visual novel to me, right, compared to like all the other ones that I've played, because some visual novels have those sort of cutscenes and stuff too, but they always tend to have been like from way later, like to at least 2015, 16 plus or something like that. The sun sparkled off the clouds floating in the deep blue of the midsummer sky. As our altitude increased, we should have been getting closer, yet it was still so far away. We can't be going for the morning glory, right? I highly doubt that it's up there right now. It should like a test flight or something. I came to my senses at the tension in Asa's voice. That's right, we were in the middle of a flight, you forgot? The thing that we heard about this story, I mean, that we sort of read from that tiny little synopsis, right, was that Kotori and Aoi seem to have been on the verge of graduating, right? It's been a little while since I like played the other If My Heart Had Wings, the main stories, but I'm pretty sure they were like second or third years, so this story presumably takes place at least 1, if not 2 years later. So yeah, a lot has sort of happened since then, right? Obviously, seemingly, we're assuming here now, but Asa seems to be the one that's sort of piloting the glider, so obviously during that time period she sort of learned to do that, and obviously the whole sort of point, the main thing that I really loved about the story in general, right, was that sort of the passing on the torch to the next generation for the glider soaring club, right? And it was sort of passed on from the one before Isuka and Amane to then to Aoi and especially Kotori, and now it seems to like go from Kotori to the twins, or maybe Asa in particular of the two, right? And it's, I don't know, I think it's just a cool thing to see, and now we sort of have seen a little bit the blossoming, growing of Asa herself into eventually taking out, because she's going to be taking over the Soaring Club when Kotori and Aoi, graduate. So yeah, Asa's in charge, girl. Did we read this? We're reading it again. My gaze rose to the clouds towering over us. It was almost as if we were racing toward a huge mountain range.
小鳥先輩、どうかしましたか？なんでもない。
As I answered, I reached out toward the sky.
なんだろう。
Lately, the sky had felt so far.
それじゃ、いつものコース行きますね。今日はいいサーマルがありそうだから、なるべく長く飛びましょう。はい。
Immediately like a fucking 360. The world spun as the glider circled, but the sky remained unchanged. Inherited Wings Soaring Club Epilogue. Asa piloted the glider back to the runway about 30 minutes after takeoff. Yep, Asa piloted that shit, hell yeah. After a perfect landing, the others raced over to unlock the canopy. Welcome back, Asa. Must have been like a sauna in there.
姉さん、はい、お水。ありがとう、ヨルちゃん。
Yoru, you've gotten really good. There was a crosswind, but your takeoff was still perfect.
うんうん。ずいぶん長いこと飛んでたしね。
I must have at least had some hand in teaching Asa, right?
ありがとうございます。
But it seems like the student is surpassing the teacher. After wanting it for such a long time, Asa had finally gotten her pilot's license. Since then, she had been getting better and better. She'd always had the enthusiasm and the sense for it.
サーマルを見つけた時の反応がまだまだね。今日は強いサーマルが出てたからよかったけど、もっと弱い日もあるんだから、お尻のセンサーを敏感にしないと。
Butt sensor? What is that? What is a butt sensor? And if, even despite not knowing what it is, I want one.
はい、小鳥先輩。
When Kotori, still sitting in the rear seat, started critiquing her, Asa's slack expression stiffened. She's like, uh-oh, my senpai, she's critiquing me. I gotta pay attention. I lent Kotori a hand getting down.
よっと。ありがとう、葵。
She can walk, right? Right, remember, I played the Kotori route pretty long time ago, sometime last year, and then a couple months ago I played the Amane one, and there was like pretty big break in between those two. But if I remember correctly from the Kotori route, in the epilogue, right, she opted to go for like this surgery, and it went successful to the point where she could walk again. Now granted, in that final picture she was sort of walking with, I believe, one crutch, but still she was walking, so I imagine the same cases here as well. Yep, there it is, one crutch. After she'd gotten out of the cockpit, Kotori stood on her own two legs. Letting out a deep breath, she brushed back her shoulder-length hair. Her lustrous hair, now warmed by the sun, floated in the air. This is one of the reasons as well, like, I really love the Kotori route, and I love the Amane route as well, right? I really sort of enjoyed finding out about the whole thing with Isuka and everything, right? The sort of more the history behind the Soaring Club before we got there. But there's just a, and I feel like the fact that the epilogue resumes from this point, right? That Kotori can walk and stuff. It just really feels the best for me that like the Kotori route is sort of the true route, just because like, I mean, in the Amane route, there's no mentioning ever of her where seemingly she even has the confidence or the wanting to go for a surgery to fix her or repair her legs, right? Her functioning or ability to walk. Whereas in her route, it's the case. I don't know. It just feels so much better, right? To have Kotori sort of be able to walk, and I don't know. For that reason, I just feel like that's sort of the true route. She wasn't that tall, but she seemed somehow imposing when stretched to her full length. Oh god.
でももう悪くはなかったわね。
Oh god, oh god. It just feels so weird, right? Because with Kotori, before we always had to kind of look down, and now she's on eye, like probably similar length as us, right? So eye level as us. So that's something to get used to, I suppose. God damn it, I'm terrible.
ありがとうございます。もっともっと頑張りますとも。
Asa groveled at these rare words of praise from the so-called Professor Demon. Sounds like Kotori, alright? At times. Next, I checked the conditions with Kotori, then called out the younger members where they stood watching us. Harumi, it's your turn. Who the fuck is that? Harumi?
Hi.
Holy shit, that's a big boy right there. That's a big boy. Is he like a new member? He's gotta be a new member. He straightened his posture and took one step forward when he answered.
中村さん、頑張ってくださいっす。
Haruka? Who the fuck is that? Harumi? Oh, he has a crush on her, you can tell. He squeezed in the front seat and quickly went through the pre-flight prep. So he's also a pilot? I'm surprised he's able to fit in the seat. I sat in the rear seat.
はるみちゃんが座るとコックピットが窮屈そうよね。
I mean, yeah, he's a big boy.
はるみくん、朝ちゃんが30分だったからせめて15分は持ちこたえるんだよ。
Yeah, you gonna get beat by a little girl, Harumi?
頑張ります。
Don't get too excited, okay? Kotori, could you close the canopy?
了解。
So we're really sort of mentoring, I guess, the sort of younger members of the Soaring Club, right? To make sure that the Soaring Club, after we leave, after we graduate, that it will be in good hands and that the Soaring Club has a bright future ahead of them with this big boy being part of it. Alright, here we go, Harumi.
はい。
Are you ready? He sounds so unsure when he speaks though, so nervous. The glider climbed once more into the sky. It was the summer of my last year at school. Our last summer together. Oh my god, our last summer. Kind of feels a little sad. Hell yeah. Intro song, intro video. Show me them beautiful clouds. Amane! Wataru! Kanako! I'm really looking forward to those two routes. Eventually. Isuka. What was his name? Fuck, I missed it. It was like upside down. Hato! Yeah, you don't need that wheelchair anymore, girl. Oh yeah, just leave it there. Leave it on the fucking, on the hill. Just throw it down. That's what I would do. We flew until evening, and then headed back to the hangar. We would check the glider the next day, so club activities were over for today. Everyone took it easy while we tidied up.
今日朝ちゃんいい感じだったんじゃない？
Yeah, she was great.
そうね。難しいコンディションだったけどちゃんと対応できてたし。本当ですか？
Mm-hmm.
もともと勘はいいからもっとたくさん飛べたらすぐ上手くなると思うわ。今日は小鳥先輩がたくさん褒めてくださる。
Very unexpected from Professor Demon, huh?
よかったわね、姉さん。はるみちゃんの方はどうなの？
Harumi, yeah, he was okay. Damn, dude, are you so tense? What the fuck? You need to relax, man. Chill. Harumi jumped when he heard his name. He was so tall, he was really hard to miss. I think he's getting better. His takeoff and his landing were a bit rougher than Asa's, though. Might have something to do with the extra weight we were carrying. Harumi seemed relieved when he heard my evaluation. He did good, I think. His name was Harumi Nakamura. He was a few years below me at school. He joined a year after Ageha and the others.
本当っすか?
Yep, your coordination and natural reflexes aren't bad. He used to play basketball, of course, so that probably helped. He was tall, and I'd heard he was a skilled dribbler. Dribbling big man, huh? He had a very athletic look about him, but his hobby was building plastic models. He apparently liked airplane models most of all. Damn. So he ditched basketball for us, for the Soaring Club? When he found out about the Keifu Soaring Club, he left all of his basketball friends behind and enrolled here on his own. Damn, he already ditched all that shit. That passion was driving him to get his pilot's license through the Soaring Club, just like Kotori and I had done. I think that's pretty cool, right? Because I feel like a lot of people would tell him like, oh, you're tall, you need to take advantage of your genetic, I mean, to some degree advantage, I suppose, right? The fact that he's tall. Like, that's just something that you're born with. That's not something anybody can change about themselves, right? Their height or whatever that shit, right? So, there are people, like, one of the sports that I do kind of follow is basketball. And, like, there are people that sort of, or maybe sort of kids, teenagers that are not necessarily forced, but persuaded into, like, you're tall, why not play basketball? You should play basketball, even though that's not really their true, deep passion or something, right? So I think it's pretty cool for this dude to just, like, despite the fact that he's tall and seemingly had a knack for basketball as well, he decided to just pursue his true passion. And that was, well, plastic airplanes and all that shit. And that's why he's with the Soaring Club right now. So welcome, dude. Welcome, big guy. He'd already gotten his learner's permit, and now he was in training to get the full license. However, he did have one weak point. Yeah, that's the girl. That's the other girl.
はるみちゃんは技術云々の前に乗り物酔いをなんとかしないとね。
Oh, he gets motion sickness? I heard, I mean, a lot of people sort of, or some people at least, get that with VR, right? I've actually never tried VR, so I have no idea, but I don't really, with other things that some people get motion sickness from, I don't really get that, so I probably wouldn't get it from VR either, but... So I actually don't know what that's like, but it seems, just from what I've heard, seems like a pretty annoying thing, motion sickness. Yep, he was prone to terrible motion sickness. He was apparently particularly weak to vertical sway, and today's flight had turned him white as a sheet. He already looks white as a sheet. What are you talking about? The rest of us had been secretly terrified he was going to hurl all over the cockpit. Oh god. He needs to have like a bucket with him when he flies, if there's even room in the front seat. Or they need to put like, you know, those plastic all over everything, so even if he pukes, it's like, it's easily cleanable.
でもまあ、最悪操縦はできなくってもね。
Oh yeah, that could be an issue too. Of course. I mean, the thing that I'm worried about is like, oh, where all the puke gets when he pukes mid-flight. But of course, the worst possible thing that could happen is while puking or after puking, he just loses complete control and crashes. Yeah, like that. I would say that's the bigger problem. Sure.
そうね。
But couldn't it also be possible that like the controls and everything sort of malfunctions when he pukes over it? I don't know. I don't know why I'm thinking so much about this. Let's just not puke in the cockpit, okay? How about that, Harumi? Let's just not puke in there. Kotori nodded in agreement. Harumi was good with his hands. As a result of his model making, he was an ace at maintenance. Ooh.
頼んだわよ、はるみくん。
Our engineer?
頑張ります。
As her chosen successor, Harumi was still in the middle of learning all a Geha had to teach. Yeah, he's gonna be a Geha successor. And there was one more new member. Oh yeah, the girl. She looked pretty cute. Who's that?
中村さん。
Haruka. That's her name? She looks a lot like,
はい。
Haruka took Harumi's hand. Oh, dude, what the fuck? He is in. This dude is in. She dug her finger into the palm of Harumi's clearly trembling hand. Or she's just a big tease.
ここ乗り物用に効くツボらしいですよ。飛ぶ前にこうすれば少しマシになるかもす。
Really? Her name was Haruka Kirino. Kirino. She was a brand new freshman. She looks kind of similar like Ageha and her sister, right? So for a second I thought, no, that can't be the sister, right? But like, there are some similarities there, but yeah, I mean, the fact that her name was Haruka, I knew she was a different girl, but like, there was just a slight hesitation there. She seemed kind of flaky, and I honestly didn't know why she joined the Soaring Club in the first place. She'd said something about seeing Kotori and me flying once, and that was all the members. there had once been more, but people had quit for their own reasons. Ha! Losers, quitters.
ありがとう。
They saw the Soaring Club and saw how much hard work it was, and they knew that they weren't cut out for it.
いえいえ
Haruka paid no mind to the furiously blushing Harumi as she let his hand go and wandered off somewhere. She definitely had a way about her.
あらら真っ赤になっちゃって
I mean, you know, if the girl that likes you suddenly starts grabbing your hand without you expecting it, then of course.
葵にはない初々しさだわね
What was that? What did you say, Ageha? Harumi was never much of a talker, but when it came to girls, he was even more tongue-tied than usual. Excuse me, Ageha, I'm pretty good with the ladies, okay? It must have been really hard for him, surrounded by girls, but he was a solid, sincere guy, so the older students all liked him a lot.
桐野さんって中村くんに気があるんでしょうか
I think it's the other way around, Asa. For sure. That I know for sure. Harumi definitely has a thing for Haruka. Haruka, I don't know if she has a thing for Harumi. She can just sort of be a, you know, I don't want to say like overly touchy because she was kind of just being helpful there, right? She just grabbed his hand and like showed him, I guess, the pressure point that helps with motion sickness. I don't know what she said was bullshit or not, but like, it seemed like just sort of a helpful thing that she tried to do there for him. So, I think that's too little information to base off of whether she likes him or not.
いきなりって握ってたわねいやーどうだろう逆に全く意識してないパターンかも
It's definitely possible. We're all talking about this out loud with Harumi just right there. Harumi's face fell at Ageha's words. She's like, God damn it.
こっちは本当わかりやすいくらいなんだけど
Yep.
ここはこの中で唯一彼氏持ちの鳥先輩が恋の攻略法を伝授してあげるしかないんじゃ
Wait, can't I just teach him? What the fuck?
小鳥先輩中村くんの思いを叶えてあげてください
Why Kotori? Why not me? When Yuro and the others piled on, Kotori's expression hardened.
それしかなさそうね
Or does everybody just look up to Kotori, right? Because, I mean, she was sort of the leader, right? Or she still is, probably. So everybody does look up to her. There was? Of course, Harumi, being the earnest boy he was, listened meekly to Kotori.
あなたまずパイロットの資格を取りなさい
I mean, that could be a way of impressing Haruka. Maybe.
パイロットの資格ですか
I feel like this is a ploy for Kotori, though, right? Just encouraging here, like, dude, you really gotta get your pilot's license. And Harumi was like, I'm trying my best. And then Kotori was like, yeah, but you're not doing good enough. And it's like, it suddenly comes to her like, oh, I know a way of extra motivating her. Dude, you know? If you get your pilot's license, whew, it'll work so well with the ladies, especially Haruka.
そうよそして空の上で告白をするの
That can be extremely romantic, and so if it works out well, it can be awesome, right? But if it doesn't, imagine this, like, if it all works well, then awesome, right? Like, oh shit, yeah, oh, it's so beautiful, he like, you know, that'll be an awesome story to tell later, right? Haruka to all her girlfriends, like, oh yeah, he told me that he liked me in midair while we were in flying, and like, but it can also just be the exact opposite. It can turn into like an entire horror story for her, right? We're like, oh god, I was trapped with him in the middle of the air in this tiny ass glider when he confessed to me, and I didn't know what to say. I don't like him at all. When I said no, then he just started going crazy with he started to lose control of the glider and everything, and then we crashed and we died. Well, obviously she wouldn't have died, otherwise she wouldn't be able to tell the story. But you know what I mean? It would be extremely fucking awkward if like well, why did I say propose? When he confesses to her in midair and she doesn't feel the same. That would be fucking awkward.
空の上で
It's the gesture and everything, it seems romantic, but there's like a tiny chance if it doesn't work out. I don't know, maybe I'm just being, you know, negative Nelly here, I suppose, but you gotta be prepared for everything, at least. Kotori seemed enraptured by her vision. and Harumi was enraptured right along with her.
それで落ちない女はいないわ。かくいう私だって。それで葵に陥落させられたんだもの。
Wait, did I don't think I confessed to Kotori in mid-air though, did I? Kotori blushed, and her gaze went far away.
素敵な告白だったわ。葵は私を乗せて大空へ。
I did take you there, girl.
あれはロマンチックでした。望月あまねの超留年に並ぶ慶風学園の伝説だもんね。
Holy shit, really? That's a school legend? On the same level as Amane's legend? Holy shit. We've made it. You know you've made it when there's a school legend about you.
伝説ですか。
上の学年で知らない人いないんじゃないの？
I mean, you know, it was all the shit back then.
あれは嵐の夜だったわ。肺炎で40度も熱を出した私を病院へ送り届けるために葵は決死の覚悟でフライトに臨んだの。
Hospital? What the fuck? I don't remember any of this happening in her route.
迫り来る暴風をかわしながら雷鳴とどろく空へ。葵は言ったわ。命に変えてもお前を守る。
I feel like you're exaggerating a little bit here, Kotori. I don't remember her going to the... No, I don't think she went to the hospital, did she? Oh, my memory's terrible. I remember kind of something happening with her, but it was mainly just her going back home, right? And her parents were really like, not upset, but extremely worried about her. But something I think, now it vaguely comes back, vaguely, that something kind of did happen to her, which initially scared off the parents and made them extra worried, which wasn't just her being part of the Soaring Club and actually being in a glider. I think something actually did happen to her, but I don't remember that I like fucking flew her to the hospital. I don't remember that part. That's enough of that.
何すんのよ。いいとこだったのに。
What was good about it? You telling it like that, all dramatic, is the only reason and everyone keeps talking about it. And you exaggerate it a little more each time. She wants to have this legend be remembered forever, even if it's not entirely accurate. And thanks to her, there probably wasn't a single upperclassman who didn't know it, just like Yoru said. I imagine people telling that story for years at class reunions.
いいじゃない、自慢したいんだから。
I mean, you know, she does seem to love the whole thing that happened between us to the point where she's telling everybody about it constantly. Kotori muttered, rubbing the top of her head. Holy shit. When you zoom out even more, you see how big of a boy this dude is. God damn. It's all half-lies anyway. Don't you believe it?
はあ。どの部分が嘘だったんですか。
The last part, about the storm and stuff. Yeah, I don't remember there being quite a storm or anything either. No one could fly a glider in a storm like that. And why would I take her to the hospital in a glider? Yeah, that part definitely didn't happen.
つまり前半は本当だったってこと。私たちが伝説の一気商人です。です。
Can't argue with that. Ah, damn. They're gonna tell the story forever.
いいじゃない別に。
Not that I mind anyway, right? Kotori looked awfully pleased with herself. Well, I couldn't honestly complain if she wanted to brag about the confession of love, of my confession of love, but it was also super embarrassing. Okay, that's enough of that. Time to go home. The road home was pitch black. We stood in front of the convenience store eating ice cream.
小鳥一口交換。いいわよ。
Stopping for ice cream on the way home from our weekly flights had become a Soaring Club tradition. Although in winter, we traded the ice cream for pork buns. Today, we were particularly late going home, so dinner would be cold when we got in. We'd had to have it warm up.
そういやあれどうしよっか。
What it are you talking about?
引退フライト。何も決めてなかったでしょ？
Final flight? What's that? Like sort of a farewell party, farewell ceremony for us as our end at the club, the Soaring Club? We were all in our last year of school. This summer marked the end of the club for us. This kind of just feels like the end of an era thing, right? Or like, yeah, like, obviously the beginning of the story was us joining the Soaring Club and everything, and now to sort of think that it's all coming to an end, it's a little sad. Since we didn't have any big summer competitions like the sports clubs, we would normally quit at the end of the school year. But that felt wrong, somehow. So we'd planned a special final flight for members leaving the club. Of course, like Kageha said, we hadn't actually decided any of the details. For now, we plan to invite everyone who'd helped us out on the way to watch, and maybe take a flight with us.
引退って気分じゃないけどね。例の問題もあるし。
Does that count, asshole sensei?
でもそこはほら、うちらじゃどうにもできないし。私たち下の代の問題なんで、どうぞお気になさらずに引退してってください。そうですよ。心配しないでください。
But I feel like it's a little hard, right? When something like this has been sort of a part of your life, a big part of your life for a number of years, I imagine it can be a little hard to let go of that, right? And even if you're passing it on to other people who you think that you know, it'll be in good hands, it's natural for some part of you to worry about it a little bit.
そうね。引退までにできるだけのことはするけど。
Yep. We were all worried about a certain problem the Soaring Club was facing, and it wasn't one we could solve anytime soon.
引退フライト派手にやりましょうよ。
What is that problem, though?
いいね。それこそ伝説に残るようなやつ。
You know what to do, Harumi, if you want to make a legend?
そうね。なんたってこの私たちの引退フライトなんですもの。先輩、私そろそろ電車やばいんで。
Oh shit, Haruka's leaving. Harumi, quickly go say bye. Haruka, who'd been standing apart from us older students, waved her hand as she said this.
そっか。じゃあ、はるみちゃん、駅まで送ってってあげて。
Oh, Kotori.
えはい
Kotori pulling the strings here like a master puppeteer.
ああ、私も。
Okay, I know you're ruining it. Okay, Harumi, look after these two.
わかりましたっす。
Now he just turned into a bodyguard for both of the girls instead of just only, you know, kind of being alone with Haruka. Why do you have to ruin things? Why do you have to ruin everything, Ageha? He was so earnest. It was almost cute.
じゃあねー。またね、アゲハ。
Ageha, just take a later train, goddammit.
さようならっす。さようなら。じゃあね。
Waving, everyone parted ways for home. It was a day like any other, and it ended quietly. But soon, days spent like this would end for us. Uh-oh.